And gently now welcoming your spirit, welcoming your divine essence deeply through your third eye. Really witness how it feels. Feel the cells and the nerve endings around the area between your brows. Feel how it feels like to allow that light to move through your skin and the skull into the center of your head. Feel the pouring down of light through the crown. What does that feel like? Really allow yourself to feel. Feel into all of that light. And sometimes you may even taste it. Sometimes you may even touch that. Something in your hands may ignite. A memory may be activated. Whatever it is, let that be allowed. Let this spaciousness allow that to unfold. Let the mind still itself in the presence of this essence. And as the mind stills itself, you feel the back of your head, the atlas, start to really lighten up. And just breathe. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. Feel the connection of your breath with your heart. Feel the tension in your shoulder blades start to really release, melting like candle wax as the light moves down your neck into the shoulders. And sinking the sternum. Any excessive qi in the lungs, let it release itself down. Feel the pressure like you would imagine it like a needle, like an injection needle where you press it down. The pressure starts to go down and out, down the heart. Let the lungs melt its way down as well with the energy of the light. All the way down, opening your rib cage. Let this buoyancy just really open the rib cage. Any tension in your spine, just let that open. That's right, good. And let it rise, move down actually. Let it move down to the solar plexus. Let it melt open the solar plexus now. Any tension here is very much related to your mental health, your mental capacity, your stress, your mental overreactiveness, everything in the solar plexus. Let it open up. That's right. And as it clears the channel, let the light move down into the space below the navel, a few fingers down below the navel where the dantian is. Sink into this space completely and connect from this space to the center of your head. Focus completely on nothing else but this connection. Feel the light sinking even more light pouring down into the dantian, all the way down, connecting with your essence. Feel your pelvic bowl naturally want to release the tension, spine, releasing anything that's sticky around it. Really let it open to the sides. Just whoo. And you can feel your essence ready to rise. You can feel it, almost like a circulating motion, like a wheel that is moving and churning. And just allow it. If today you cannot feel it just yet, one day you will. One day, with your continuous connection, your continuous recognition of your divine essence, you will. But today, wherever you are, it's exactly where you need to be. Some of you more advanced, you can start to even hold your palms just around the area of your dantian. See if your lao gong, which is the center of your palm, can feel the movement of your dantian. Just allow that. Yeah. Play with it. See if you move, if you stretched your lao gong, if you stretched it from the inside, see if you can feel even more when you move it around. Just play with it. See if you can feel the connection. Yeah, your hands are the tools for manifestation. Yes. And we can absolutely manifest through intention. Through our divine essence, we are continuously manifesting. So our focus, when we focus on being who we are, which is essence, we don't need any more quote unquote manifestation techniques. You don't need all of that. This is who you are. This is what you are doing already. Refining it is how we can become better at really receiving what our essence is doing and telling us. All right. Now, just let this feeling, this liquid essence now in your dantian, go down deep into the heart of the earth, all the way down, releasing it all the way down. Let your body become still, your breath still. Welcome your divine essence. Welcome your presence. I can feel the presence of your divine essence now, whoever that's tuning in. I want to invite you to start to let that essence speak. And let it be known that, yes, your ego, your identity, your personality is going to still be here. But your job is to observe when it wants to interfere. Okay? Your job is to really notice when it interferes. Once it interferes, just stop, pause. Okay? And continue to let the essence flow through you. All right? You can start to open your eyes just a little bit, not too much. Just let it be very soft, soft gaze. And you can type. When you type, you will also feel it's a different kind of movement. You feel almost like you are flowing chi through you. There's something that's moving you to speak and type and share. It's not your identity. You're not filtering. Okay, let's try. Anyone wants to share in the comments? Bring it forward. What is coming up for you? Doesn't have to make any sense. Let it come through. Welcome, divine essences. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me today. I have some announcements which I want to make further down before we close off. And I want to also share how we can slowly, gently parcel this divine essence that you are cultivating now before we finish as well today. Right now, I encourage you to feel the undercurrent of energy that is flowing through you. Some of us, especially if you're a channeler or a medium, you're going to find that your essence is going to start channeling. It's going to start speaking. It's going to start to tell you something, or it's going to start to move you or bring some sort of vision through. So I want you to stay with that. So let that play with you. Let that breathe you even more deeply as we are on this call today. One of the things that I thought was really beautiful, I really wanted to come in and share today, is how we are happening all at once, all at the same time. Now, to start off, I want to share something that happened yesterday, and then we can move through that. So when I was on a call yesterday, one of the women on the call was listening to me as I spoke about how I am an empty vessel when I am holding space. Because it is so important for me to listen, not from an identity or a personality aspect, but actually from a neutrality, from a point of center where I can perceive fully, or as fully as I can in this capacity as a human being. Because the interesting thing about being human is that we have to understand that to be human means that our truth, the truth that you say is your truth, the truth that I say is my truth, is only an aspect of the great one, right? There is a source, the infinite one, the divine, as we might call it, the cosmos, the universe, God, that holds the unlimited aspect. But when we actualize, when we physicalize into matter, as a human, we hold one aspect, the aspect which is who we are. But one thing we all forget that we tend to separate ourselves from is that we think that God, the divine source, is something outside of us that we need to connect with or that we need to merge with. Has anyone felt that way before? Let me know. Raise your hands. One thing that is so important for us to know who we are is that we are never separate from the divine. We have never been separate from the awareness that contains the infinite. This awareness is so important because this is where true, genuine compassion and love unfolds. It is what love is. It's literally love. It's literally compassion. Because it contains the infinite aspects. How can it not love itself? How can it not love the differences? We may see it from a personality, from an identity's point of view as difference. We may see someone disagreeing with us. We may see someone feeling like they don't feel the same thing as we do. But that is also an aspect of the very same source you contain. Take a deep breath. Can you feel this? So in order for me to hold great transformative spaces, I have the responsibility. I cannot speak for other practitioners, but I know I have the responsibility to be an empty vessel, to empty out all my perspectives, all my conditionings, all my opinions and prejudices when I'm holding space for a person. This is why I have clients who are going through really tough times in their marriages or feel that they are ashamed of talking about something, that they come to me because they know they can feel the undercurrent of energy is very clear and very pure. There's no prejudice about where you've been and what you're going through. You can come to me and even say, on the outside, it looks amazing, but inside, I'm crumbling. My relationship is falling apart, or that my business is falling apart, and I don't know how to show this front to people. I can't be honest about it. These are things that are very identity-based. So to hold space for that, I have to be completely empty. Because once I am empty, I am neutral. When I'm neutral, when I listen to you, when I hear you, I'm not listening to your words. I'm not listening to your stories. I'm not listening to all the things that your identity made up to make sense of the world. And please breathe. Experiences can happen in the world, but it is your mind, it is your identity, it is your ego that creates the meaning behind every experience you have. This is why people can be so divisive when they talk about things like, interracial relationships or boundaries, money, even spiritual things. Even Buddhism itself can have so many different kinds of perspective. Like people are arguing with each other, and I work in the tea space. I'm a tea ceremonialist, and I cannot tell you how many times I hear people arguing about tea. They're arguing about the quality of tea from this place, from that place. They're arguing about the teaware, the quality of the teaware, which one's better, from which country, which whatever. It's endless. And none of these people are wrong. It's just that this is their identity's perspective. This is their personality's perspective. Hello, Tara. Never late. Welcome. So, are you with me? Are you all with me here? Because this is a very, very potent transmission. If you can get it, there's a lot here already that you can mine for free. Thank you, Lee. Lee is here. I am with you. Are you new, Lee? Let me know. So, yes, awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyone else here? Let me know. Tara's new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I think Eve is here as well. Let me know if you're here. Thank you all for joining me. Okay, so oftentimes what I get asked when I'm holding space, and people who eventually come in and they say, I want to be able to hear you. I want to be able to hold space for others' feelings. Hi, Eve, welcome. I want to be able to sit with the difficult emotions of my own and then also other people. But how do I do that? And this is the thing that we are caught in right now in this space, the spiritual space, the wellness space, whatever space. You can literally turn on your social media and you will see so many people talking about one thing in different ways. And we waste so much time trying to tear another person down by saying that their opinion is wrong, or their interpretation is wrong, or their style is wrong, and whatever. And this is something that's completely different from honoring the heritage and honoring the lineage. Obviously, that's a whole other topic. But what I'm talking about here is that as human beings, we make meaning. We make meaning. We make the meaning of purpose. We make the meaning of a mission. The universe, the infinite, God, the divine, does not have a purpose because it is all. It encompasses everything. Are you with me? So, if God, the divine, the universe has everything, is everything actually, the isness of all, it is also nothingness. And it's funny because as I was talking about the conversation I had on the call yesterday, when I was saying that I'm an empty vessel, I literally said, I have the responsibility to be an empty vessel. I don't bring my shit into the call. I don't bring my anything really into the call. I'm here. And the woman who was listening to that, she heard me, and then she came on and she said, I actually got really triggered about that. And that's so interesting because that made me really think, because the first thing I wanted to say in response to you was that, no, you have to correct that person. You have to tell that person what's right or wrong. But then I took a moment and I realized that that was my identity speaking. My identity wants to correct. My identity has an idea of what is right and what is wrong. And then I held myself and I felt that, I actually have a lot more deepening and digging into my essence that I still have to do. So thank you so much for this, for bringing this up. And I felt that because I feel that that is something that is truly what I cherish in a mentor. I hardly see this, sadly, in coaching spaces, in mentorship spaces, and let's not even talk about friends or family. Maybe some friends. I have a really good bunch of friends that I can really feel like I can be there and they can hear me and they can hold space for me. They don't jump in and correct me. But I know a lot of you probably feel that. You probably feel like there are not a lot of places, or maybe none, where you can actually speak without any filter. Where you can literally just say anything. Like what your ego is thinking. You can say, my identity is thinking about this, my ego is thinking about this, but I know my essence feels differently, but I just don't know how to hear my essence right now because the ego is so loud. You get to say that. You get to express yourself in that way. And nobody is going to say that you're weak or you're a loser or that you're a failure, that you keep failing or that you can't do anything. And even more deeply, when I say I have a responsibility as an empty vessel, it's not new. It's not something I came up with. It is a very ancient technology where you find alignment within yourself first. In order for you to be, not even become one, to be the planet, to be the plant that you're imbibing as medicine, to be the organ that you feel is aching in your body, to be the land that is, maybe experiencing some kind of sickness, so that you can hear what's going on vibrationally. It's a lost art, but it is here. It's absolutely within you. It's absolutely there. Is that we need to really, it's like kind of like imagine a bottle of water with mud in it, right? With mud in it that you keep shaking, because every day we're being shaken. We're shaken and shaken and shaken. We don't have time to even think about the essence. This is why all kinds of marketing gurus are always saying, like, if you want to sell your mentorship about well-being and stuff, don't talk about things they don't get. They won't get the idea of the essence. They know about it, but they hardly think about it because you're being shaken. You're shaken by ideas of like, okay, how do I grow my business? How do I make sure next month's targets can be met? Like, ooh, you're shaken. You're shaken every single day. The moment you wake up, you're shaken. You see something on the social media and you think, wow, I would really like that. But man, like, what do I have to do that? Oh my God, I need to learn this. I need to get that. Like, I have to get this. You see, where is the space for your essence? Nobody talks about that in your life. Nobody's like, hey, how's your essence? Nobody comes up to you to be like, hey, how are you in your essence? Most people probably just ask you, hey, how are you doing? And they don't even hear you, right? They just do things on rote. They're doing it unconsciously. Meanwhile, you're here doing your best, being a conscious person. Meanwhile, here you are doing your best to be absolutely conscious. And there are so many spiritual people that are not conscious because they take in all the things from the books and the YouTubes and the courses, but they do it thinking that it's the right thing, but their heart and soul are not aligned. And then they look down on their spiritual horses and like, oh, they're doing it the wrong way. They shouldn't do it like that. And then the cycle keeps perpetuating and nothing gets transformed. And when I say nothing gets transformed, I'm talking about the collective consciousness, which you are part of, which ridiculously everyone's saying, I need to escape the matrix. Like, I'm sorry, you're the matrix. You created the matrix. You can't escape the matrix, but you can transform the matrix. You know why? Because you are the creator of this reality right now. When source is so limitless, there are lots of concepts and lots of ideas that every single timeline exists, but you get to decide. You get to come into that center and see everything that exists, and you get to intend who you are and what you are here to do. You are connecting with the memory of your future when you do that. Once you're connected, all that's going to take you there is actually going back to the beginning. That becomes your purpose, the future. But make no mistake, it's already there. When I speak about the future, don't look at it, don't hear it from the idea of the identity. Hear from the essence. Hear it from the essence. What do you hear? Lots of times when we think about what we want, when we think about the future, we have to be very, very honest with ourselves. Is it really what we want? Or is it to prove to someone else that you can do it? Or is it to prove to yourself that if I do this, then I can mean something to the world? Or that I can finally be loved if I can make this happen? Let's have a moment of pause here. Do you really make things happen? Or are you simply unfolding the vibration that you are? Take a deep breath. Feel into that. Welcome, Selena. What's moving through you right now? As you tune into this, what's moving through you right now? Hello, Laura, my love. You know, when you are able to continuously work with your essence, which is something I do deeply in mentorship. Yeah, this is my work. This is my devotion, I would say. When you're able to work with your essence continuously, you don't just hear your own essence. You actually start to see that interconnectedness you have with everything else around you and everyone else. And how can there be no compassion when you live that way? It just comes completely naturally. Take a deep breath. Can you feel that? What's arising within you? Let me take some questions. I feel like there are a few coming through. Okay, what does it mean to be the essence, to move as the essence, to live as the divine essence? Now, essence or soul, whichever you work with, yeah, interchangeable. I want you to imagine that like almost like an animation of spirit. Spirit, source, God, the divine comes in, it descends into matter through the soul, through the essence. The essence and the soul, they don't have emotions. They don't have feelings. They are waves and waves and waves and waves of vibration, basically. But how they operate, how essence operates, how the soul operates, is by generating these waves, these different frequencies, these different vibrations, and you feel it as the physical form, as what we know of as emotions. Take a deep breath. Frustration, Laura. Great. I'm perfect. I'm into it right now. You feel the waves as emotions. Emotions like frustration, emotions like happiness, emotions like joy, emotions like elation, anxiety, exhaustion, all these things. You feel that as emotions. Now, the thing that we have kind of gone astray with, most of us, is that we start to attach to the emotions. We meaning the identity, the personality that you see, that's Liing, for example. That's Laura. You attach to the frustration. And then your mind is so clever, it starts to spin the webs of stories. It's going to start to spin the meaning. It's going to say, I'm frustrated because the things that she's saying, it doesn't make fucking sense. I don't like her anymore. Or it's going to spin the story of like, I love her so much. I love him so much. He's so good to me. So on and so forth. Emotions, mind starts to generate meaning. How many of you have experienced Meanings that literally changed when your consciousness changed. When you looked back at something and you're like, thank God that happened. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. But when you were going through it, you were like, fuck, stop. I hate this. Like, this is the worst thing ever. I don't think I can get through it. Eve, welcome. Right? So can you see that literally just this has already shown you that your mind, that your identity, that your personality is not reliable. It's the most unreliable narrator of your life. And please breathe. So how can you hold space for your emotions? How can you hold greater space for what you are capable of as the divine essence when you step forth in your life as the divine essence, when you channel your divine essence into every aspect of your life, living as divinity on legs? That's what I call it. Because this is what you're here to be. Since ancient times, we can go back even into the Atlantean times. We all came here to be gods on earth. Not by giving something outside of us a title or whatever, but literally going through the alchemy, the path of alchemy to align within. To recognize that we are sons and daughters of the cosmos and the earth. So if the essence or the soul has no feelings, no emotions, that means that when we are feeling that come through us and we feel tears and we feel so moved, we are so captivated by this presence, our identity is witnessing it. So our identity and our personality is not separate from the essence. In fact, I would go further and say to you, the essence or the soul created this interface. Please breathe. It's like the ocean created the waves, but the waves forgot that it is part of the ocean. So if you're going about your life thinking, maybe you're already deep in your spiritual work, but it's really time. If this is new to you, that you're like, oh my gosh, like, wow, what's going on here? Woof, let me know. But if it's like, okay, this is interesting, this is completely different from how I've seen my essence and my body, my mind, whatever, like, let me know. And also, welcome to my world. My mind is continuously blown by this. Never stops. And you know why? Because I die every single day. I die into the past. I empty myself completely. I don't stay stuck in an idea, because the minute I do, it becomes a doctrine. I read a lot. I'm open to a lot of real experiences. I go to churches, I go to temples, I go to all the sacred sites. I read what is being written down, but I also know, I'm also aware that these words are written by someone through their perspective. And please breathe. So to really start to parcel this together now, it's really important for you to have a pathway back to your neutrality, back to your essence. Not just on a retreat 1 day, 2 days, but every single day. every single day. Because it's so freaking easy for your identity and your personality to just really get into a space of, I know what I'm doing. You don't get to boss me around. I'm going to tell you you're going to fail. I'm going to tell you this is not worth your time. You've done it so many times, it never worked. This is not going to work again. It's so easy for the identity to do that because it's reinforced by external circumstances as well. This is why there are spaces like my mentorship where you are surrounded by like-minded people, where you have people who actually are able to understand and hold space for this immensity. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome. So good to see all the familiar faces. So I want to extend an invitation to all of you present. And it's so incredible right now that we have 44 and 44 gratitudes. 44 people, 44 gratitudes. And then 48 now. But this is incredible. It's not a coincidence. And I think it's the right time to share. I have a free quiet tea salon called Sacred Luxury of Stillness. I would invite every one of you that feels today's transmission, you feel the potency in it, to apply, to come in. It's not to be elitist or whatever. I genuinely want you to fill in the very simple application form because I want to know where you're at and also make sure that this call is as potent as it can be. It's about you. It's my eyes on you. It's my light on you. I won't be speaking this much. If I'm prompted, I will. But what the whole point of it is for me to illuminate your essence. I want to see you. It's a great opportunity for you to receive mentorship and guidance for free. If this interests you, you can go to the link in my bio. Just a few minutes of writing your application form and you're off. I will respond to every single person who applied on Wednesday. That's my promise to you. Eve, I already applied. Everything you're saying resonates with me so much. Amazing. Yes. So anyone else who feels this, you will see the link in my bio. And also, by the way, once you're in for life. I plan to do this as often as my time permits. So once you're in, you'll be admitted into a private group for free as well. And you'll be in the salon, like anytime the salon comes around again, you'll be in. And if you join live, you join live. You join replay, you're joining on the replay. All good. So who's coming in? Let me know. Any questions about that? That will be amazing. And here's the thing. I want you to know that to be human is also to be divine. There is this impossible standard sometimes I feel in spirituality where like you are being led to expect that you need to be a perfectionist with everything that you're doing. I gotta meditate 9 times. I gotta do this. I gotta do charity work. I gotta blah, blah, blah. But like my real question to you is, are you genuinely happy? Like not like ha 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 happy, but like contented. Are you seeing the world through a lens of everything is expanding rather than, oh, the world is going to shit and I need to save it or I need to change it? Because that is also an illusion. That is not spirituality. That is not your essence. So learning to really identify who is talking in you is really the foundation. And then we build from there. We continue to build that up strong in you. Just like in Qigong, you don't build your Qi or your dantian in one day. You have to put in the work. And some people get scared. They're like, oh my God, more work. Oh God, I don't know. There's so much already. Yeah, it's true. There's so much in your life. There's so much rubbish and excess in your life. And if this is you, take a freaking good look at your life and ask yourself, like, are they really serving me? And if you can't make a decision, come on into the salon. Or even better, sign up for Truth Tea. Truth Tea is my 33 days of serving you truth. You ask me a question, and I'll serve you the truth. I'll tell you what I see. And you can decide, you want to recalibrate to your truth? Or you just want to ignore that? Sure, no problem. Just like the universe has no problem with you ignoring the shit in your life. It really doesn't have any problem with it. They just keep swinging back around. Next time it's through your boyfriend. The next time is through your friend. The next time is through that Uber driver. If you continue to have lack of respect for your work, for your power, for yourself, it will just keep coming back around. Maybe in the same person, maybe in different forms. But the universe has no emotions about it. It's not attached. And it's so important to say this because, as I was saying at the beginning of this call, if I am an empty vessel holding space for you, my job is not to meet my KPIs. It's not to say, I have to create such excellent clients who have excellent results. No. My job is to hold you where you are so that you can honestly see where you are and where you really want to go. Yes, you will see how limitless you are, but you will also see that you always have a choice. You always have a choice to say, I'm doing it, or maybe not this time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shocking. Yes. Most spiritual gurus will probably say, you gotta do it right now. You're wasting your time. I'm going to tell you this truth. All it's going to be is that you're going to keep perpetuating the matrix that you want to escape from. That's it. You get to create a new one. What is a matrix? Does anyone know? What exactly is a matrix? Did you know that the word matrix came from mother? That it's almost incredibly ridiculous that most of the people want to escape the mother. Yeah. That the matrix is created by this web of patterns that interconnected. It's like a network. But what created the lines? What created the network? What created it? Do you know? Every single one of us. Right now. Throughout all timelines. So the oldest story of the book, right? We want to run away from our mother. We want to run away. We don't want to be like our mom. We don't want to be anything like my mother. How many of us have said that? The mother who at the very beginning of your life was everything to you. The only thing you knew. The only thing that gave you life force. And then you say, I want to leave. I want to get out of here. I can't stand her. It's the same thing with the matrix. So your understanding of the cosmos is very important. your understanding of what you are doing here on earth is also very, very important. To be human is to be divine. To be divine is also to be human. Fear, ego. The essence has no fear. Essence has no pain. And here's the thing. To wrap this all into a beautiful bow, into a beautiful present, we're going to go deeper into this inside the sacred luxury of stillness. Again, please apply. Come on in. I really encourage you. This is so freaking good. Like, I can't believe I'm offering it for free. But I really felt that this is a time we really need this. We really, really need this work. If we see our ego, our personality as a creation of essence, that essence created it to express itself, then it turns everything on its head. Because it's really important that you understand that there is no separation between your essence and your identity. This is why you get to become divinity on legs. It's the only way to do it. To understand that there is no separation between these two. This ego, this identity is not something we cut out like a cancerous cell. It's not like an extra head that's growing out of us. No. It's us. And it is our responsibility to understand who's exactly going to be in the driver's seat of your life. Yeah. And to understand the role of your personality, to understand the role of your ego. It's a blade. It turns around and around, understanding what is your intention. That's what it's all it's meant to be doing. And to survive is to survive. It's to shrink the limitlessness of source into matter. To turn something into this dimension that's tactile, that you can hold, whether it is a wealthier business or a bigger house, whatever it is, you have to use the ego in that way. To shrink the source energy, kind of like a pattern that creates the matrix. Yeah. Mind-blowing for a lot of you, I can feel it. But that's exactly why we need to get into a bigger space, a more intimate space where we can really hash this out. We can't just hash it out in this 1 hour. But I really wanted to just bring this forward today. If you're mind blown, let me know. Because it's been incredible just to be able to work with this, to feel into this, and how much more expansive it is. Like, I no longer feel like I look outside of myself to get the answer. I love having mentors, right? To chat and to hash things out for sure. But I no longer put myself in a position where I give my power away to someone else to decide for me who I am or what I am here to do. So can you. Yeah. Ego death. I have a saying, Lee, where in every ceremony that I host, whether it's sitting with myself, usually sitting with myself, which I do every day, I die. My ego dies. That's how it feels like every day. Amazing. It's beautiful. I work with tea as a medicine. It's a beautiful, non-psychedelic way of living in ceremony. I respect all kinds of plant medicines as well, but this is a way to connect with essence, in the most mundane and ordinary way. Because the intention I really want to seed is you get to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. I would like to try to keep, well, come on in, Lee. I really allow that. I would love that. All right, my loves. I'm going to wrap today. Thank you so much for being here with me. And for some of you, I will see you inside the sacred luxury of stillness. And for the rest of you, have a beautiful day. I love you, and I will see you soon.